Like that. Armchair.
Well, the season's finally here, and the players hit.
The Armchair Quarterbacks are back. Saturday, September 9th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you'll be tailgating with the Armchair Quarterbacks. Mac Magee, Brian Snow, Joey and Tones, and the rest of the Armchair Quarterbacks live, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Saturdays this fall. Talking college football, SEC, ACC, Big Ten, the NFL, fantasy football advice, and our picks against the spread. It all begins September 9th, right here on Braves Country HD, 99.1 FM, WQEE.
Yeah, the Armchair Quarterback, the All-American
Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium. His record, pure gold. His courage, pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine.
Armchair
presents the world's first star in your own radio commercial. Okay, guys, whenever you hear this sound, insert your name.
Hi there.
Braves country.
Sorry I'm late.
Sometimes there just aren't enough hours in the day to be a neurosurgeon and a swimwear model. Oh, am I thirsty? How about it?
Braves country.
Got anything tall and cool? Oh, those.
Braves country.
You are so thoughtful. But of course,
Braves country.
the first choice for every occasion. You know, I have a confession to make. If I ever had a son, I'd want to name him
Braves country.
Oh,
Braves country.
come here. Now.
Braves country. Braves country. Braves country.
Well, you did very well in your first commercial.
Braves country.
Have a
Braves country.
You've earned it.
Armchair.
Braves country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@Braves Country. Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey, "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two." "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. And somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey, Braves Country! Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Hi, I'm Mac Magee, and we'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch of your Atlanta Braves. It's free to listen. Please like and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Braves Country Baseball for the fans, by the fans.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
You can't drink like me. You can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have, and the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
A room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive, let's see it. 1 run is in. Here comes
You're in Braves country.
We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball. Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. We are live, and the scene is Citizen Bank Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening. Long time no see, right? Atlanta Braves. Doubleheader dip on a Monday. Atlanta Braves going to try to pull off a sweep, a doubleheader sweep of these Philadelphia Phillies. And Kyle Wright, we were right in guessing it, all puns intended here on Braves Country, that Kyle Wright is the Game 2 starter. We talked about that in the first game, how he was with the team in Philadelphia. And we thought that that was going to be the reason, is that he would probably pitch tonight. But we didn't get the verification until after the game. You stayed after for the post-game show. By the way, we will be doing post-game shows in the postseason. And we're talking about doing them next year. But we will be doing them for the postseason. And depending on when we clinch, we'll probably do a post-game show on the night that we clinch. It really comes down to how late is that game and what time do I have to be up for work. So let's go ahead and hit roll call. Good evening, Gavin, Keith, Chris, Pushing Buttons, Jose, Sean, Woodrow, EQ, Jillian, Eli, and Robert. I'm sure others are in the chat. Just jump in and drop your name there. We'll say hi to you. Good evening to everyone out there in Radio Land, as we are in, got it verified right for first pitch, 13 cities tonight. So welcome to Braves Country Baseball. If you've never jumped into our chat and you're listening to us on radio, you can find us on youtube.com/@Braves Country. If you jump into your app looking for it, it's Braves Country HD is how you can find us. And I think I said good evening to Chris. If I didn't, I do apologize. Good evening, Chris. The Braves tonight are going to be wearing their road gray bottoms, but the blue tops. We haven't seen those in a while. I'm glad to see them. We've been going with nothing but the road grays here recently. I don't know if that was a superstitious thing or what, but Phillies will be wearing their traditional home whites with the pinstripes. Phillies across the chest in red ball caps with the red P, dark red, not the maroon that they used to wear in the 80s. And the Braves will be wearing their dark blue ball caps with the A. If you missed game one because you were at work or what have you, Braves won that game in extra innings, 10-8. It was a fight. It was a rock fight all the way to the end, but we got it. And I expect more of that with the bullpen, as you just don't know what to expect, how long he can last tonight. It's the first start that Kyle Wright has been here for the in 4 months. So with that being said, first game in 4 months, he didn't get stretched out that much on the way to from Rome to Gwinnett to here. So it'll be interesting to see. My guess is 2 times through the lineup, come hell or high water, at the most 4 innings. That would be my guess. Good evening, Edward. But you never know. With that being said, if they have to spell him, they do have AJ Smith-Shawver. And I've been double checking to make sure we didn't get another lineup or roster update before first pitch. And it looks like they've optioned Dylan Lee to AAA. And so that's interesting. They've optioned Dylan Lee to AAA to make room for Kyle Wright. Now they shouldn't have had to do that. So there has to be another move, because you get, I see it now. Daysbel Hernandez has been transferred as well. And the first pitch on the way, as it is baseball time in Braves country. Apologize, I'm trying to get caught up here. Pitch inside to Ronald Acuna Jr., and it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Ronnie, outside wide, 2-0. They did decide to go with home plate umpire David Rackley. He was not in the first game at all. And so the home plate umpire took the night off. So your umpires look like this. It's Moscaso at first, Metz at third, Rayburn at second, and Rackley behind home plate. So ball 2 misses 3-0, and the 3-0 pitch to Acuna swung on, and he reached for that one well out of the zone, down around the kneecaps, below the kneecaps, and it's 3-1. So they sent Dylan Lee back to AAA. It'll be interesting to see how that conspires. The 3-1 pitch to Ronnie, high and inside. Ball 4, and Acuna will head on down to first with a leadoff walk. Talked about this in the post-game show that was kind of like the post-game pregame, this doubleheader. Lorenzen, after that no-hitter, when he threw over 125, 126 pitches in the neighborhood, he has been getting lit up since. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris. The second, as we'll go through the lineup. Here we didn't do the pregame lineup because of the doubleheader. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Harris batting .293, 15 home runs, 49 RBI. The 0-1 pitch misses high and wide, 1-1. So he's missing with that fastball quite a bit. Good evening, Frank. We see you in there. The 1-1. Swing, and pops it up, foul out of play. Just behind that one, it's 1-2. Frank, I'm assuming that's Jacksonville, Florida, the first coast. Then again, it could be Jacksonville, North Carolina. It could be, there's a lot of Jacksonvilles. So you can't assume, can you? The 1-2 righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Reaches for that one out of the zone, but just gets enough to stay alive. We'll do it again at 1-2. So yes, Nicholas, good evening to you as well. Magic numbers down to 4, and how that works is a combination of 4 Braves wins, 4 Phillies losses, or any combination of that gives the Braves the division crown. The pitch on the way turns and fires over to first, and that ball's going to get away. Ronald Acuna Jr. is hauling over to second, and he's going to go around. He's going to make it all the way to third, and how about that? He won't be credited with the stolen base, but he goes first to third. Vroom, vroom. And the Braves have the go-ahead run at third with nobody out. Good evening, Bellfire, Jeremy, Lemonade. So that also works as well with going into tonight's game with the best record in the National League is the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled, spoiled by Harris down the third baseline. It's 1-2. Talked about this in the post-game show this afternoon, but the cliff notes are this. If someone mentions that the Dodgers to clinch the 1-2 pitch, swung on, fouled away again. For the Braves to get the best record in the National League, technically it's 14 is the magic number, but it's really 13 because the Braves have the tiebreaker. Same thing for Major League Baseball as the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So after a long at bat, Michael Harris, the second, finally down on strikes, and there's one away. That'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Almost went Austin Riley with the pick to click. My big thing was I wanted to go with, I went with Acuna, but I wanted to go with someone with right-handed power because Schwarber's playing left field. First pitch on the way to Riley's inside for a ball. It's 1-0. So the Dodgers, to beat out the Dodgers for best in the National League, it's 14, but it's really 13 because of the tiebreaker. With the Orioles, it's 17, but it's really 16 for best in baseball. The 1-0 pitch, outer edge for a strike, 96 miles an hour. It's 1-1. When they originally came up with these tiebreakers, magic numbers in baseball, there was no such thing as tiebreakers. If there was a tiebreaker, you played it on the field. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, pulled the string on the slider, which is really more of a change. It's kind of a slow change for Lorenzen. It's 1-2. About a 7 to 10 mile an hour difference between the fast and the slide. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. We'll appreciate the kind words, Frank. Glad to see you chiming in on the broadcast. The 2-2 to Riley. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one well out of the zone. Not sure what he was doing there. That one was up around the letters inside, and there's 2 away. The Braves in danger of spoiling a leadoff walk that was gifted into a man on third with the wild throw to first. So it'll be up to Matt Olson. You get this a lot in these late games that in the doubleheader. Guys just impatient and they're tired. They're ready to move on. First pitch on the way to Olson is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. It's not something they go in there and do and think ahead. It's just human nature to swing early. The 1-0 swung on and fouled straight back. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Olson sits in with 48 home runs, 123 RBI, 986 OPS. The pitch on the way, off the plate wide, 2-1. With that, remember both teams really spent their bullpens in the first game. Lorenzen is at 20 pitches, and with that, JT Realmuto is going to run out there and talk to him. Probably going to talk him into, if he has to, pitch around Olson with Murphy standing on deck. Kind of pick your poison, but you'd rather face Murphy as opposed to Olson. So with that, we get a chance to, we're doing this but by itself, the turn back time, because I do want to make sure we give it its right moment. On this date in 2001, the wake of the terrorist attacks on New York City's World Trade Center and the Pentagon, Major League Baseball cancels all games for security reasons. The evacuation of Yankee Stadium also takes place as a precautionary measure 22 years ago today. We'll do the rest of the turn back time later on. Most of us remember that day. For those of y'all too young to remember, terrible day in American history. The 2-1 pitch on the way to Matty as we try to transition out of that. Really difficult to do. 97 miles an hour off the plate wide. Ball 3-1. So a 3-1 count to Olson. The pitch on the way, ball 4. So Matt Olson. I realize this had not refire, so I can refresh this screen for y'all. Matt Olson will head down to first. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. So they'll go after Sean Murphy instead. See if that's a wise idea. Sean Murphy, remember, he's not tired. He sat out game 1. First pitch on the way. Off the plate wide, it's 1-0. So that strategy that could come back to bite him if you think about the big picture. Murphy took the afternoon off. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled straight back. It's 1-1. Murphy with the .342 batting average with runners in the scoring position. It's pretty remarkable, especially for a hind catcher. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. Top of 1, the 1-1 pitch. Down and away, 2-1. Good job of Murph to hold up there. He's got a 2-1 count in his favor. Standing on deck is Eddie Rosario. Lorenzen comes set. Pitch on the way. Swung on and banged that foul off the plate. It's 2-2. Murphy really chased one off the zone there with the count in his favor. So now a 2-2 count. Lorenzen, 27th pitch of the at-bat incoming. Of the inning, excuse me, not of the at-bat. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and rifled foul down the first base line into the dugout. We'll do it again at 2-2. You know, that's not something that the Philly brass wanted to see heading into the second game of a doubleheader. 27 pitches already in the top of the first. The 2-2. Pitch on the way, swung on and bangs that foul down the first baseline into the dugout again. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Game in which the Braves, it's a seesaw affair jumping back and forth. The Braves had the lead for the majority of the game, but a nip and tuck affair, and then the Phillies tied it up in the bottom of the 9th. Braves went on to win it in the 10th. The 2-2 pitch swung on. That ball's belted into left field, and making a running catch is Schwarber. I don't know how he did that. He's not known for his defense. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Hey, this isn't my coffee. Where's my finely ground quinoa blend from Starbucks?
That's it. Daphne put an eggshell and some allspice in it.
Didn't that just dress it up? Let us get something clear. I am not a morning person. I have to ease into my day slowly. First, I have my coffee. Sans eggshells or anything else one tends to pick out of the garbage.
Enjoy sun-drenched days epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge, so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
If there's anything I could change about the league to make it better, probably just all the guys sitting resting. That's the only thing I probably don't like. Just play, man. If you 80%, you got to play. I don't like all the sitting, missing games and stuff. Like these people might have enough money to come to one game. You know what I'm saying? And that might be the game they come to, and then you sitting out. You know what I'm saying? So I take pride in trying to play every game because I don't know. It might be one fan that has never seen me play, and I'm trying to play. So that's the only thing I don't like. Guys just sitting out.
Armchair.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for? I don't know.
When the University of Illinois played Northwestern, Illinois rooters fired blanks into the air. Much more convenient than yelling, the campus paper said, and has a better effect on the visiting team. And when the Princeton Tigers beat Yale, their fans roared right onto the field.
Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. For those of y'all who might be joining us, we were talking about Kyle Wright's limit. My guess is somewhere around the 60, 2 times through the order. He really wasn't that well stretched out since the last time he pitched. I want to say he was around 45-ish, 50. First pitch on the way from Kyle Wright is a 94-mile-an-hour sinker on the outer edge. Good-looking pitch from K-Dub. Fouled off and quick first strike to Schwarber. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swung on. That ball is hammered into right field, down for a base hit. Cutting it off is Pilar. He'll turn around and get it back into the infield. Schwarber doesn't run quickly, so it's a leadoff single for the Phillies. Here in the top of the first. Kind of a hanger there. With Schwarber's power, that's the best case scenario. First pitch on the way to Trey Turner, swung on and fouled back behind home plate. It's 0-1. It's good to see Kyle come back, even if he were to struggle against this Phillies line. Just get his feet wet and let's go. His next projected start, assuming that they are planning to work it this way, would be this weekend against Miami. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, pops it back, foul. It's 0-2. Trey Turner hit a 2-run shot in the first game in that back and forth seesaw affair. So an 0-2 pitch to Turner, runner on first, nobody out. The wind up the pitch, off the plate wide, 85-mile-an-hour slider misses. It's 1-2. For you NFL fans, Chris Jones of the Chiefs has agreed to a 1-year deal, so they expect him back in camp soon. The 1-2. Pitch on the way. Off the plate, nowhere near the zone. Slider misses again. 2-2. So getting ahead with 2 sinkers and now trying to get him to chase on that off speed. I think Turner knew exactly where he was going each time because he didn't even come close to flinching. The 2-2 pitch. Set up outside, swung on, grounded up the middle, and that's going to be another base hit. So runners on first and second. Nobody out, and Bryce Harper coming to the plate. About the worst case scenario that you could draw up for Kyle Wright coming off the IL. Bryce Harper took Iglesias deep in game 1. First pitch he saw, he hammered a 90-mile-an-hour changeup on the outer edge of the plate and just slammed it into the left field seats. So runner on first and second, nobody out. Kyle Wright trying to limit the damage. The pitch on the way inside almost gets him. It's 1-0. Braves won the first game of this doubleheader. Tomorrow it'll be Max Fried. Wednesday, Spencer Strider. The 1-0 pitch. Down and in, 2-0. We will have the entire Philadelphia series for you. We will have Friday night and Saturday afternoon's game of the Marlins series. The chat will be back for Sunday. We had some technical difficulties on that last Sunday. The 2-0 pitch off the plate wide, 3-0. So a 3-0 count to Harper. JT Realmuto stands on deck, and Kyle Wright having a hard time getting his first recorded out. The 3-0 just grabs the outer edge, 3-1. Good pitch, 95-mile-an-hour sinker. I think Harper was taken all the way, waiting to see if he could hit the zone. So a 3-1 count. Kyle Wright comes set, lets it go. Off the plate, wide, ball 4. So another walk. Kranitz is going to come out there. You see Kranitz come up the steps, man. I feel like he needs assistance. So Kranitz will get out there and talk to Kyle Wright. They got the bases loaded and nobody out. Now, one of the things that the Braves will probably go to today, because I can't imagine he's got a very long leash today. You got Tonkin you could go to spell some innings. You've got A.J. Smith-Shawver, who got up and stretched but did not pitch. And he didn't look like that he was working very vigorously when he got up to pitch in game 1. He was more just standing there while Iglesias got warm. So Kyle Wright's back to work. The first pitch, nowhere near the zone. It's 1-0. And that's a way you could possibly spell the first 6 innings of this one. The 1-0. Pitch on the way. Inside, 2-0. You do wonder what the logic was. I mean, look, we were all excited to see it, but what was the logic of Kyle Wright comes back for the first time in a long time, and it's against the Phillies in Philadelphia? The 2-0 on the way, swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 2-1. I mean, more of a skeptic would say the philosophy was Philadelphia on the money line, right? Good evening to everyone pulling into the chat. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. Bases loaded, 2-1 count. The pitch on the way, inside, ball 3. So once again, see Goat and D and Alex and Woodrow. I think I saw Yelton in the chat a second ago. You got a 3-0 count. Kyle Wright, who has already walked 2, swung on, and that ball's belted deep into right field, going back on the track at the wall. Making the catch is Pilar. Tagging up is Schwarber, and the ball is thrown to second. They're going to say that Harper is safe, and Arcia doesn't believe it. Runners move up to second and third. He had a look like he thought that he tagged him. The throw looked like it beat him. Have to see that play again. Pilar was a little flat-footed. I'd like to see another angle. All they're showing is the front angle. But he was flat-footed on... I mean, honest engine, if he keeps the glove on him and not showing it and swiping it, he's out because he came off the bag, but he didn't do that. So he's safe. Doesn't matter anyways. First pitch on the way to Stott. That one's nowhere near the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Lefty-righty matchup inside. Good night, Irene. Did that hit him? Yep, it hit him. Kyle Wright is going to give away another free base. Kyle Wright, who has gotten one out so far, has given up 2 hits, a run, technically 1 walk, but that's another free pass. And the difference between the top and the bottom of the first inning is the Phillies were much more patient and cashed in on the errant pitching. First pitch on the way to Castellanos is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Castellanos, 22 home runs. I'm sure what they're hoping here is a double play. Standing on deck is Marsh. The 0-1 pitch swung on, and that ball is lined against the shift. It's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. It's 3-0. Or did they not? No, they did not send him. I do apologize. I was distracted on another end. They ended up holding the runner. Thought that second run came across, but they ended up holding up Harper. And I see now why Harper had to go back, thought it might be caught. If they were playing traditional double play defense, that's a line out, an easy line out. But instead, once again, getting cute doing the shift, it cost them another run. First pitch on the way to Marsh is right there for a ball. It was rang up as a strike on the screen once again. If you're watching on the Braves feed, they've done a terrible job this year on keeping up with the balls and strikes. The 0-1 pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-2. I really feel like when they do the road games, it is literally an intern that's pushing the buttons. So no matter what you see on the screen, Philly has it right. Atlanta just fixed it. The 0-2 pitch to Marsh. Bases loaded. Inside almost hits another batter. So a 2-0 count. Just want to limit the damage here. If you're Kyle Wright, he's at 24 pitches. The last thing they want to do is have a really long inning, because there'll come a point where they'll just pull them. The 1-2 from Wright. Swung on and bang foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. You won't get them to let Wright throw a ton of pitches in the first inning. In fact, Jackson Stevens is already warming up. It's not whether the win or loss, it's worrying about him getting re-injured. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, 94 outside wide. Marsh chased one well off the edge, and there's 2 away. And it's far from a who cares attitude, but what it is you got to be smart. And you go into this game, and you're not going to wreck your bullpen or your pitching staff over one game with such a huge lead. First pitch on the way to Sosa is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. But what's more important to Snicker and company is they have a number in their mind for Kyle Wright, and they're not going to let him go above it. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled straight back. It's 1-1. That's why I thought it was a little strange for him to make his appearance in Philly. I thought he would at least either get one more start down on the farm or go against the Miami offense. The 1-1 pitch, nowhere near the zone 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Bases loaded. Wright is now at 29 pitches. The 2-1 swung on. That ball's hammered into left field, and it's going to get off the wall. It's going to score at least 1, probably 2. Here comes a throw in, and it's 4-0 Philadelphia. Hung one there, and he raked it down the left field line. Still a long way to go in this one, but the more intriguing thing about this more than anything else is if they have to pull Kyle Wright after just a couple of outs, where do they go? For the rest of the game. So they're hoping Wright can come in here and get Cave, the number 9 hitter. Pitch on the way, swung on, grounded over to second. Nicky's got it, flips it over to first, and that'll end the inning. So the Phillies score 4, but it could be a heck of a lot worse. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
She left me. She left me, Dad.
I'm sorry.
After all we've been through.
I don't know what...
I trusted her.
I know, buddy.
And she left me.
I know, but...
This hurts so bad.
I know.
And it's like she doesn't even care.
Listen, Amy is only...
Amy?
Yeah, Amy. Who are you talking about?
My Uber driver. This heifer left talking about I'm taking too long. I said, bitch, I'm on my...
Here are some baseball facts you might not have known. The Pirates won a game while getting no hit because of 3 walks and a fielder's choice. It's the first time since 2008 that a team has won without recording a hit. In the late 90s, higher-ups for the Red Sox wanted to replace Fenway Park with a sports megaplex. The new Fenway Park would have been next to the New England Patriots Stadium, but an agreement failed to be reached. Nick Markakis used to hold the record for most consecutive games without committing an error, but Robbie Grossman of the Detroit Tigers played his 401st game in a row without an error, setting the new record.
It all starts with just one thing. Get to know your local beekeeper. You can make sure they don't use chemicals in the hive, that they only sell surplus honey, plus locally produced honeys have a smaller carbon footprint. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
Ranch Ricky graduated from Ohio Wesleyan University, struggled as a catcher for a few years in the major leagues, got a law degree but failed to drum up any clients, gratefully returned to baseball, working for the St. Louis Browns, one of the poorest teams in the majors. He moved up quickly within the organization, scout, club secretary, and in 1913, manager. Ricky was a genius at making do with less. He approached his job scientifically, introducing unusual calisthenics, batting cages, and sliding pits.
No ball player can learn to steal bases by practicing sliding into sand pits. I wouldn't ask a veteran to slide into a pit. I don't think much of this theory stuff. Miller Huggins.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves will try to climb back into this one. First pitch on the way is a strike at the knees of Rosario. It's 0-1. Remember, Lorenzen threw 29 pitches in the first inning, though the Braves didn't get across onto the scoreboard. Phillies and Braves really wore out their bullpen in game 1. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 80 chasing one well off the plate. It's 0-2. Philly 4, Braves nothing. Top of 2. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Off the plate wide. 1-2. Nothing else with Atlanta. You'd like to see them work the count a little bit in this inning just to give Kyle Wright a breather. The 1-2 pitch. Off the plate wide. Good take by Eddie that time. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swung on and taps that foul. Do it again. If you're watching the Braves feed, it is just almost comical how wrong they are about the count on every batter. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, taps out off the plate foul. Do it again. On that tapper off the plate, they rang him up for for an out, excuse me. It seems to be much more prevalent when they're on the road. The 2-2. On the way, swing and a miss. Good Lord, what was he swinging at there? That was just a fly swatter. Eddie Rosario down on strikes. And there's one away. Wasted at bat there by Rosario. That'll bring Arcia up to the plate. Lando Arcia, his first at bat of the night. First pitch on the way. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away, 1-1. Orlando, 17 home runs, 59 RBI. The 1-1 pitch. Down and away, 2-1. The 2-1. Swung on and grounded over to short. Easy, slow roller. Arcia doesn't run well, so it's an easy 6-3 put out, and there's 2 away. When you have Eddie and Orlando back-to-back in the lineups, although we all know that both of them have potential to really get into balls, but they also have the potential to really give away at bats. First pitch on the way to Pilar is swung on. That ball's belted down the line, just into the corner. Foul. If he could have kept that straight, that would have been extra bases for sure. He kept turning and turning. When it first left the bat, I thought it was heading for the corner for sure, but just could not keep it straight. The 0-1 to Pilar. Pitch on the way. Up top for a strike, it's 0-2. So he started him off with a slider, backed that up with the 95-mile-an-hour four-seam. He's out in front 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Down and in, 1-2. Lorenzen now at 43 pitches through 2 2/3. Pilar digs in. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and just got a piece of that, drags it foul. We'll do it again. The 1-2 on the way, off the plate, 2-2. So a good job by Pilar, if nothing else, to run the pitch count up here. You got a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Standing on deck is Lopez. The 2-2 pitch swung on, pops it up. Looks like that'll stay in play. Into foul territory, making the catch is Cave, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
We want to know what your plans are.
I've got some questions I want answers. What are you doing about moving out?
I don't know.
About Donna?
I don't know.
Your job?
I don't know.
Your future?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with I don't know.
Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today, Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE.
He never complained, never alibied. He was never known to criticize a teammate or call an opposing ball player lucky. He accepted his great success modestly and the many vicissitudes of his life in silence. He was easy to like and hard to know. New York World Telegram.
If Walter Johnson and Christy Mathewson had a challenger for the title of best pitcher in baseball, it was a troubled young right-hander named Grover Cleveland Alexander. A Nebraska farm boy, the son and grandson of alcoholics, and one of 13 children. He had honed his startling accuracy by hurling rocks to kill birds to help feed his family. He was a minor league star at 22 when a shortstop's throw to first hit him squarely between the eyes. He was unconscious for 2 days, then stricken with double vision. He kept throwing anyway, and after months of relentless work, his vision suddenly and mysteriously cleared, though he remained subject to epileptic seizures for the rest of his life.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail this one early on, bottom of the second inning. Kyle Wright will go back to work. Top of the order again, as you saw all 9 batters. First pitch to Schwarber, misses for a ball, 1-0. Delivering the next pitch right there upstairs for a strike, evening up the count at 1-1. So he went sinker, out and in. The 1-1 pitch, sawed off foul, kind of handcuffed him towards the third base dugout. It's 1-2. In this game, unlike the first one, we will have a scoreboard update, out of town scoreboard for you. We were the only game in town, so to speak, only game in action earlier today. Tonight, there's several games. The 1-2 pitch, down and in, 2-2. We hit that out of town scoreboard. Games of interest. Baltimore leads St. Louis 2-1 in the third. Texas and Toronto are tied 0-0 in the second. The 2-2 pitch, inside, ball 3. So Kyle Wright continues to be erratic. To be honest with you, he really hasn't looked that good other than his start in single A when he first came off the IL. The 3-2 pitch, inside, ball 4. So he went back to back to back pitches inside. They all about hit Schwarber, and he walks his first batter here in the second. You really look at it, and it's a head scratcher that they even tried this. I know they're going to have a million excuses after the game. First pitch on the way to Turner's right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The last thing I want to see him do is go out there and re-injure himself or just get his confidence down, because he wasn't pitching well at the beginning of the year. The 0-1 pitch swung on, bang, foul down the line. It's 0-2. Came into this game with an ERA just shy of 6. Though we all thought he would straighten that out, he ended up on the IL for 4 months. So that's really all he has to go off of for this year. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, grounded over to short. Arcia's got it, flips it to Lopez. Lopez fires it down to first. A 6-4-3 will just miss the double play, as Trey Turner way too fast for a slow developing double play. Walt Weiss is on the horn to see if they want to challenge it, but I seriously doubt there's anything there. Snicker waves on to the umpires and says, go ahead and start the play. Yeah, he beat it by about quarter step, we'll call it. So Turner on base again. What would really be a huge thing for Wright here is somehow get into a double play with this cat at the plate. Bryce Harper walked his first time up, swings at the first pitch he sees and bangs it off the plate. Chase the curveball outside. It's 0-1. Good to see some of the others I didn't get a chance to say hi to earlier. Rebel, Alex, Margaret, Yelton. Wright turns and flips it over to first to keep Trey Turner close by. It's the 0-1 count, 1 down, runner on first. Kyle Wright comes set and lets it go. Right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-2. You got an 0-2 count. Bryce Harper digs in. They set up inside. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's got to help his confidence a little bit there. Striking out Bryce Harper. 93 blew it right by him up top. Harper shrugs his shoulders. He knows he shouldn't have swung at that. Just too enticing, about let her high. So 2 down, 1 on. JT Realmuto to the plate. Wright looking for a bounce back inning here. The first pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up. Can of corn. Little Nicky's underneath it. He'll make the catch. And what about that? Kyle Wright bounces back and fights through it. We'll head to the top of 3, trailing by 4.
Here he comes again.
Hey, my nephew you've been talking about, he's 3 for 3 right
Is that right?
That's right.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
ThingsThatDidn'tHappen.com.
Really?
Yep. You know, baseball's not for everyone, man. You know, sign them up for karate or something. All I see is swinging at air.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by our mystery sponsor, a product that is so good that they're paying us to keep anyone from associating it with this program.
You'll do anything to stay healthy. So isn't it time to think about your water? Aquasana water filters remove contaminants other filters don't, like lead, bacteria, viruses, and pesticides. Up to 99% of 88 contaminants, while leaving vital minerals you need like potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Visit waterfilter.com now. That's waterfilter.com for pure, delicious water and the ultimate peace of mind. Aquasana. Better water, better you.
It's the perfect time to start planning for your healthy, pest-free lawn with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. True Green's science-based approach and local expertise will help give your lawn the year-round care it needs to be thick and weed-free. Go to truegreen.com/radio. Just call 866-946-5956 or go to truegreen.com/radio today and get a lawn to be proud of.
George Stallings was the manager of the Miracle Braves of 1914, who went from last place on July 4th to winning the pennant and eventually the World Series against the highly favored Athletics. When he was dying, so the story goes, one of the would-be, soon-to-be mourners said, "George, what's killing you?" Stallings replied, "Bases on balls."
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves going to try to climb back into this one. Still a long way to go. Both bullpens are battered and torn. You got to figure they can crack through here on Lorenz, and it could open the floodgates. Lopez comes up. He'll try to work his way aboard with Ronald Acuna Jr. standing on deck. The first pitch on the way to Nicky is up high for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Lopez, righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high in the sky, going back on the track. Off the wall, Nicky Lopez rounding first, and he'll head into second. Now, how about that? Nicky, you're so fine, you blow our mind. A leadoff double for your Atlanta Braves. That one almost left the building. I didn't even think he had that kind of pop. Kept going back and back on that short porch. Just missed it. So here we go. Atlanta Braves trying to get back in this, and Ronald Acuna Jr. comes to the plate. Acuna stands in. First pitch on the way to Acuna is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Reach for that one outside wide. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ronald Acuna Jr. walked his first time up. Got all the way to third. They couldn't get him home. The 1-1 pitch dragged foul down the third base line. It's 1-2. Lopez on second. The 1-2 pitch just misses outside wide. JT and Lorenzen really wanted that one. We'll do it again at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Comes set and lets it go. Swung on. That ball is lifted over to second, and Nicky Lopez is safe. So the ball was hit back up the middle, and Lopez did a swim move around to avoid the tag. Stott thought he was going to get Lopez going back to second as he was leaning towards there. Acuna's obviously safe, and Rob Thompson, the manager of the Phillies, says, no dice, we are not going to challenge it. He was kind of stuck in no man's land and did a swim move almost like honestly, Nicky Lopez must be very good at Twister, because I don't know how in the world he missed him. Stott really wasn't thinking. He should have went to the bag. Instead, he went to the runner, and the runner swam around him. So runners on first and second. Nobody out. See how they... the only way you can really go for that, it's got to be it's the first pitch on the way to Michael Harris' second. Bang foul off the plate. It's 0-1. They haven't given it to Acuna, but you can't really do a fielder's choice when he was unsuccessful. But it does look like that's how they are ringing that up. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball's lifted into left field. Easy out. Schwarber makes the catch, and there's one away. Michael Harris is second. Would have liked to have seen him work that count a little bit, but got overzealous. Chase went on the outer edge. We are having quite a bit of lightning in our area, so if we lose you, we'll be back as soon as we can, but power could be a problem here at Braves country. The first pitch on the way to Austin Riley is right outside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Riley. Off the plate wide, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Coming set is Lorenz, and runners on first and second. One away. The pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball's lifted down the right field line, but fouling out of play. It's 1-2. Big spot in the game here. The Braves could get back in this with one swing. If he could just get one in the gap, Acuna and Lopez would score for sure. The 1-2 to Riley. Lorenzen, 59th pitch of the evening. Lets it go. Off the plate wide, 2-2. So deuces are wild here in Philadelphia. 2 on, a 2-2 count. Lorenzen comes set. Pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high in the sky, not very deep. Coming in, making the catches, Castellanos, and there's 2 away. Riley would like to have that swing back. That pitch was a little off the plate. Runners have to hold, and that'll be up to Matt Olson. You hate to squander this opportunity. Braves got speed on the base paths, and the best power hitter in baseball right now standing at the plate. Matt Olson looking for his 49th home run of the year. He's at 123 RBIs. Walked in the first inning. First pitch on the way is a curveball, just grabs the outer edge. Kind of a 50-50 pitch. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Olson. Righty-lefty matchup. Lopez dancing back and forth. The pitch on the way outside wide, 1-1. Lopez going back and forth, maybe distracting Lorenzen. May distract him enough to put a tater over the plate. You got a 1-1 count to Olsen. The pitch on the way. Inside, 2-1. So 2-1. Remember last time up, they pitched around Olsen to get to Murphy, and Murphy smoked it down the left field line. If it wasn't for a very good running catch by Schwarber, we would have scored then. The 2-1 pitch. Lorenzen lets it go. Swung on. That ball is belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Oh, baby boy, number 49 is in the house. Rock 'em, sock 'em, smoke 'em if you got 'em. 386 happy feet over that right field wall, and the Braves pull within one. It's 4-3. Here they come. Boom goes that dynamite. That was a rainbow. Just shot out like a cannon. Olsen knew it too. He had a wry grin on his face the moment he swung. He's kind of got that giddy up. It almost got to the upper deck. I don't know about that 386 nonsense that they put on the stat track, but anyways, it's 4-3. The first pitch on the way to Murphy. It's right there for a ball inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Pitch on the way. Inside. Whoa. What? 1-1. Well, inside strike. David Rackley evidently went to the same umpiring school that game one umpire went to. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, pops it up. Easy play over by first base foul territory. And Cave will make the play, and that'll end the inning. But out for your Atlanta Braves, make it a one-run ball game. We're back in it, boys. We'll be back in a flash.
It's not what he said, you ignorant wretch. Spanish is worse than your English.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
What the hell's going on out here? Everybody's grabbing out there. Nobody's touching. Just grabbing, everybody. Grab. Nobody touching.
I can't talk right now. Why don't you give me your home number and I'll call you later?
Well, I'm sorry. We're not allowed to do that.
Oh, I guess you don't want people calling you at home.
No.
Well, now you know how I feel.
Armchair.
Braves country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE.
Harry Wright, a former center fielder for the Knickerbocker Baseball Club, believed there were big profits to be made in baseball. And in 1869, he assembled the very first professional team, Cincinnati Red Stockings. Only one of Wright's Red Stockings actually came from Cincinnati. Most were young New Yorkers, 19 or 20 years old. Wright drilled them in the fundamentals, insisted they be silent and businesslike on the field, and dressed them in knickers to boost their running speed.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Kyle Wright will go back to work, and this time he's back in the game. First pitch on the way is off the pitch wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves 3, Philly 4, bottom 3. Kyle Wright's first start in 4 months. The 1-0 pitch misses inside, 2-0. Kyle Wright at 45 pitches. I would think this is probably his last inning, unless it is extremely quick. The 2-0 pitch, top of the zone, may have got the benefit of the call right there, but we'll take it. It's 2-1. A 2-0 count to Stott. The pitch on the way, or 1-1 count to Stott. Pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high in the sky. going back, making the catch. And there's one away. Do apologize once again. I don't know why I keep relying on the Atlanta feed to give me the right ball and strike call. It's just bad habit there. Jackson Stevens is back warming up in the bullpen, so you got to figure he's coming back. We haven't seen him in quite some time as well. First pitch on the way, swung on, bang foul off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Kyle Wright comes set, lets it go, swung on, drags that one foul. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Braves trying to spell this second game of a doubleheader. The 0-2. Check swing. I guess he just got a piece of that. Foul tipped it. We'll do it again at 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bang, foul down the third baseline. We'll do it again. You start seeing Kyle Wright and Jackson Stevens. Feels like we're getting the band back together. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. Game 3 of this series tomorrow night, 6:40 first pitch. We'll have it right here on Braves Country. As always, the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Not sure if that was a great pitch, but it was a great result. That slider was well off the plate. That was one of those ones where Castellanos decided to take a hack at that when he woke up this morning. So 2 down. This would be a great shutdown inning if he'd get through Marsh here. The pitch on the way, swung on, grounded over to second. Nicky's got it, flips it to Matt, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. How about that? How about that? We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball, the classic call for Braves Country Baseball.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop, baby. All throughout Braves Country. Fuck that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all. Hey, Braves Country. Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball all year long. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. We'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch, inning-by-inning of your Atlanta Braves. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Please like and subscribe to youtube.com/@BravesCountry.
1868. Somehow or other, they don't play ball nowadays as they used to some 8 or 10 years ago. I don't mean to say that they don't play it as well, but I mean that they don't play with the same kind of feelings or for the same objects they used to. It appears to me that ball matches have come to be controlled by different parties and for different purposes than those that prevailed in 1858 or 1859.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves trail 4-3, but it feels like a lead after the beginning of this game. Breathing down the necks of Michael Lorenzen after a really quick inning by Kyle Wright. They may even send him back out for a 4th inning. First pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario, swings at the first pitch down around below the kneecaps. It's 0-1. Braves 3, Philly 4. The 0-1 pitch off the plate wide. 1-1. You got a 1-1 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Taken all the way. 1-2. Man, oh man alive. It seems like Eddie's just a little off tonight because he's taking pitches that he normally hacks at and swinging at ones out of the zone. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Maybe that'll get him going here. Atlanta Braves got a runner on first. Nobody out. Kind of a hanging slider that actually might have been I think that was his changeup at the grip. And Eddie is celebrating that blue single with a wry smile on his face. Lorenzo doesn't look too happy with it. I don't think he realized that he was in some ways joking because he'd been struggling so much. So keep an eye on that for the next time he comes up if Lorenzen is still in. First pitch on the way to Arcias, down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way, down and away. 2-0. Yeah, Eddie's been off for a while, and I really think that's what that was about. He was almost in jest celebrating a single, and Lorenzen looked ticked off about it. The 2-0 pitch, down and away, ball 3-0. And to be fair, if this was 20 years ago, he's probably getting one in the ribs the next time up. But this day and age, they're not quite as touchy. The 3-0 pitch, right there for a strike on the outer edge, 3-1. In fact, there is a turn back time tonight on that very subject. When I saw it, I was like, I cannot believe that's been 10 years. And it's about the Atlanta Braves getting touchy about a subject. The 3-1, righty-righty pitch, swung on, bang foul down third baseline. It's 3-2. So Orlando may have definitely swung at ball 4. Now they'll have a full count here. Eddie at first. Kevin stands on deck. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, pops it up. Can of corn in the infield. Who wants it? And almost colliding second baseman Stott and the third baseman Sosa up there on the pitcher's mound. That was almost a disaster. You wonder if you would have gained anything from that because the ball, I would assume they had called infield fly rule, but if the ball rolled away, it would then be up to Eddie to see if he wanted to try to make it down to second base. First pitch on the way to Kevin Pillar is swinging a missed strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swung on, hit hard, right at the shortstop. That's going to be a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. So the Braves threaten but fail to score. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the fourth. We'll see if Kyle, or is it the reappearance of Mr. Stevens when we come back.
I wanted to see where that was going. The steroids, if we would have left it alone, dude, we would have had guys the size of McGuire playing second base by now. It would have been awesome. And because they were so roided up, there would have been no defense anyway, so you wouldn't have to worry about these shifts. They'd barely be able to move. It would have been awesome. They should have just left the game alone. But no, we got to worry about everybody's kidney failure and, all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's none of my business.
Armchair.
But I told Pete, hey, we'll get you 3 at-bats. He goes, no, I want them all. I'm like, okay, I'll get you all the at-bats, but I'm going to pick you up for defense in the 9th. He goes, no. And he was telling me a story about how he didn't make the U.S. team as a 17-year-old, and it bothered him. And he's never forgotten it. So he's like, if I ever get a chance to put this back on, you're going to have to rip me off the field. And I'm like, Pete, it's an exhibition game. The Joyce kid from the Angels is throwing a $103. The last thing I need is you getting one in the ribs right here before we go get after this thing. He's like, I got it.
Here's the first pitch to Freddie Freeman. Hit high and deep into center field. It's going back. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Rama-lama, ding dong. The Braves lead it 5-4. Freddie Freeman comes through in a big way. He takes Josh Hader deep. The Atlanta Braves lead it 5-4 on the bat of Freddie Freeman. The crowd is going bananas. You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Pitch on the way from Kyle Wright. He's right there at the knees for a strike to Sosa. It's a 1-0. I'm pretty sure he did call it a strike, but Bally's once again screws it up. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on. That ball's laced into center field. Down for a base hit. Leadoff single for the Phillies. The throw gets away, but Wright backs it up, so Sosa stands at first with nobody out. Four runs, 4 hits for the Phillies, 1 error. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Braves. The first pitch on the way as Cave comes to the plate. First pitch off the plate wide. It's 1-0. I cannot see this guy's name without thinking Captain Caveman, which is really what Marsh looks like. But the 1-0 pitch down inside, 2-0. Really kind of makes me wish that he was on the Braves bench just so he could hit one. We could go Captain Caveman. The 2-0 pitch. Righty-lefty matchup, swung on and tapped foul off the glove. It's 2-1. If you didn't grow up on that yet, your childhood just wasn't as good. That's all I can tell you. What a bad cartoon that was, but we loved it. The 2-1 pitch. Right kicks and deals, swung on, just got a piece of that. Drags it foul, went for one down below the knees. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. You'd love to see a double play here as the top of the order is looming. 2-2 from Wright. Comes set. 61st pitch on the way. Swung on. That ball is hammered into right field up against the wall. It's going to get down for at least a double. Sosa's coming around. He'll score. And it's 5-3. And that's going to be a triple for Caveman. RBI triple. He hammered that ball down the right field line. That was a hanger. Took Pilar a while to get the ball back because they had him, for whatever reason, with the righty-lefty matchup, they had him shaded closer to right center. That'll do it for Kyle Wright. They probably set him out there one inning too many, but that's kind of what Snicker does, right? We'll be back in a flash. Braves trail by 2. Long way to go in this one.
Oh, I just realized if they get divorced and live in 2 separate places, that's twice as many visits. Imagine if I had to see them both on the same day. It's like running a double marathon.
That's the beauty of baseball. There's no time limit. You have to let the other guy have an opportunity. It's not basketball. We can run the clock out and pass it around, foul each other for the last 3 minutes of the game. We're not running the ball up the middle or taking a knee like it is in football. You have to face your opponent. Your opponent has every opportunity down to the very last pitch of the game to win a game. That's the beauty of baseball. That's why I love baseball the way I do. The DH, I'm an American League guy. You know that. I love the DH. I understand league people wouldn't want it, and I don't think they should do it in both leagues. Keep it the way it is. What's wrong with the DH? DH
Yeah,
in the
because
American League?
if you put the DH in the National League, the American League would never win another World Series. It would make it an even playing field.
I don't think that's exactly how it would play out.
Armchair.
Now, for me, I wasn't good enough to guess pitches. I looked for one pitch, every at bat, every pitch, fastball right down the middle. Yeah. That's it. As soon as I saw it, I would swing. So I'd look fastball down the middle every single pitch, and my approach was to stay to right center field.
One afternoon on the Brooklyn waterfront, a boy named William Cummings, known to his friends as Candy, noticed that he could make a clamshell curve when he hurled it through the air, and began to wonder if he might be able to do the same thing one day with a baseball. In April 1867, now pitching for the Brooklyn Excelsiors, Candy Cummings tried out his new pitch. Though it was outlawed, everyone started throwing the curveball. Purists were appalled.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves trail 5-3, and Jackson Stevens comes back in. Haven't seen him since last year, October 5th, 2022. First pitch on the way to from Jackson to Kyle Schwarber. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. I mean, this is baptism by fire, isn't it? They put Kyle right in against Phillies in Philly for his first return. Jackson Stevens for his first return with a runner on third and nobody out. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch on the way. Off the plate wide. 1-2. Kyle Schwarber 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, a run scored. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kyle Schwarber down on strikes, and Jackson Stevens gets a big strikeout number 1. I think Jackson Stevens was probably in a foul mood Saturday night. I remember hearing him on a broadcast one time a long time ago that he's a big Alabama fan. First pitch on the way to Trey Turner's off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. He was going back and forth with someone. I think the other guy was an Auburn fan. They were going back and forth. The 1-0 pitch. Did he go around? They checked down the line. They said Turner did. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The infield is shaded in, but I'm telling you right now, I would almost give that run up, just get the out. The 1-1 pitch. Moot point. That ball's going to get shot into left field, down for a base hit. Harris comes over to cut it off, and Trey Turner is out. He got him. Got hand caught in the cookie jar, stretching a single into a double. And there's 2 away. Turner's waiting to see if they're going to challenge it. Pretty sure he got him unless he missed the tag. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. It looks like they got him just as I'll say this, with the umpire being right there, that is going to be hard to overturn, because once again, I don't understand and this really comes down to the coaching. The Braves players on the infield, if you've ever noticed this, they do these swipe tags when you know with replay, you're much better off keeping the tag on the arm, on the body, because if they come off the bag just a little bit, you're going to be out. I think he got him. He was trying to come around, but by the time they are going to challenge it. But it really is dumbfounding. You see it all the time, and I'm not picking on one in particular infielder. It's collective. They tag and then they swipe and then they show the ball. Hold that tag. In the days of replay, it's much more important to hold that tag, because if he comes off the base just a little bit, you're going to be out. It's just bad coaching all around. So they're going to take a look there. We're going to take a look at the scoreboard. Washington leads Pittsburgh 5-1 in the 6th. St. Louis helping out the Braves. They're up on the Orioles 4-3. That game is in the 5th. Texas and Toronto, that's a big game just in general. In the wild card standings, it is 2-2 in the 4th. Arizona and the Mets, they're about to start their game in a little bit. Arizona's still in the race. The Mets are not. Tampa Bay 1-0 over the Twins. That game is in the 1st. Milwaukee 1-0 over Miami in the 2nd. And that's your scoreboard. Not a heavy slate tonight, but games of interest nonetheless. They're going to call him safe. I think that was a bad job by the replay crew. If you look at that play, he tags it. But once again, if Lopez holds the glove, his hand came up right after he touches the base. And I'm not some kind of genius. I mean, that's just common sense. I don't know why they're not being taught that. Just sloppy infield. But it's been like that all year. Like I said, I'm not picking on Nicky. It's been like that all season long. First pitch on the way to Bryce Harper. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Yeah, if you look at it, like as he's sliding in there before he touches the bag with both hands on that corner, they get him. The 0-1 pitch drops a bunt down. You don't see that from Harper very much. He's going to be out on the 1-3 put out. We'll take that anytime. Anytime Bryce Harper wants to drop a bunt, we'll take it. So 2 down. Runner goes from 2nd to 3rd, but there's 2 outs now. So 2 down. Pitch on the way. Swung on, hit high, deep into right field, and this popcorn stand will hold the ball as Pilar catches it at the wall, and that'll end the inning. So the Phillies put a couple on the board. When we come back, Lopez in the top of the order coming to the plate.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Woo!
Make sure to keep it locked in here on Armchair Quarterback Radio. We're not one-trick ponies. We cover the entire NFL, past and present.
3rd down and 6 at the 9. And Bo Jackson to the 20 and out in front. And only one man to beat, and Easley can't run him down. He had the angle, but there goes Bo. And nobody catches Bo. Touchdown. Dion. Back when he started and turns the corner into Giant territory and leave it to Dion to break it open for a touchdown. What a run.
Dion comes in as a receiver.
Sanders. And they're going his way, but there's double coverage, and somehow Dion is able to beat the coverage. Intercepted by Sanders. Can he score again?
Yep.
There he goes, Deion Sanders, 71 yards. And so for Deion tonight, a 59-yard punt return for a TD, a 55-yard pass reception, a 39-yard punt return, and a 71-yard interception return.
Dread running to the post office? Stamps.com brings post office and UPS services right to your computer. Send letters, ship packages, and get up to 40% off USPS and up to 62% off UPS rates. That's Stamps.com.
I see great things in baseball. It's our game, the American game. It will take our people out of doors, fill them with oxygen, give them a larger physical stoicism, tend to relieve us from being a nervous, dyspeptic set, repair these losses, and be a blessing to us. Walt Whitman.
Braves Country HD. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves going to try to climb back into this one. Last time we got to rolling, Nicky Lopez was leading off, and that's who's leading off here. See if he can start that fire. Atlanta Braves trailed by 3, but we were trailing by 4 not too long ago and climbed back in. So here we go again. They're going to leave Lorenzen out there. First pitch on the way. High strike. 0-1. That pitch was above the letters of Lopez. Bad whiff by David Rackley again. The 0-1 pitch off the plate wide. This one he did call a ball. It's 1-1. The 1-1 swing, and that ball's lifted high in the sky. Doesn't quite have that pop. It's going to die into center field just before the warning track for a long out, number 1. So 1 down. Ronald Acuna Jr. comes to the plate. Acuna takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to short. It's going to be a 6-3 put out for out number 2. Wow. Yeah. The poll is really close. I think this is the closest one we've had. We'll keep it up. We'll keep it up right before Olson's next at bat. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris' second. It's high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Rocks and fires, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Saw a couple of the comments. I hate to give the bad news to everybody. Football season begins the day after the World Series. The 1-1 pitch. High and out of the zone, 2-1. I don't care what anybody says, man. The 2-1 to Harris. Righty-lefty matchup. Swing and pops that one up, but that will bend out of play, thankfully, into the seats back behind home plate. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Especially after what we saw this weekend, right? The 2-2 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled into center field, down for a base hit. Michael Harris, the second, gets on base and takes a wide turn. He was thinking about going for 2, but thought better of it, trailing by 3. They are playing him really deep. And with Harris's wheels, Marsh took a wide turn, and Schwarber, well, he just sucks, and he threw the ball in. He might as well have bowled it to second base. So that'll bring Riley to the plate. Riley takes a hack at the first pitch, hits it high into right field, but not very deep, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves put 1 on, but fail to score. We'll be back in a flash Braves country baseball heading to the bottom of the fifth.
You're very lucky that you're with somebody as resilient.
You tried to off yourself 2 times in the last 24 hours, Frank.
A single scores at least one, probably two, with Adrianza's speed. Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing eye single, trying to find any way to get a runner home. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Buehler's got to be coming to the end of his string. For him to piece together this many pitches on 3 days rest, he's really done an incredible job. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it is swung on and hit high and deep down the right field line. Is it fair? It is gone, baby! Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, zit, boo, bam, a 3-run shot by Eddie Rosario. Eddie Rosario makes it 4-1 Atlanta.
Did you know that in the 1970s, a man left his house and walked to the Golden Gate Bridge and jumped off the bridge? When his loved ones went to his house, they discovered a note that said, "I'm walking to the Golden Gate. If one person smiles, I'm not going to jump." You don't know what other people are going through. Sometimes all that person needs is a warm smile from a stranger.
Armchair.
It is a haunted game in which every player is measured against the ghosts of all who have gone before. Most of all, it is about time and timelessness, speed and grace, failure and loss, imperishable hope and coming home.
Robinson with a good lead. There he goes. He hits the dirt and he's safe.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Tell you what, after watching week 1 of the NFL season, I am so glad that Major League Baseball still has spring training, because that trash that they put out there on the field yesterday was unwatchable. It's unreal how bad that was. First pitch on the way to Stott, right there for a strike. Jackson Stevens will go back out there for another inning. Interestingly enough, it's 0-1. The 0-1 from Jackson, swung on, banged on the ground. Olson's got it, flips it to Jackson, covering the bag, and it's a 3-1 put out for out number 1. So 1 down, Castellanos, righty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way. Right there for a strike, it's 0-1. I see who finally took his head out of the oven. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. He's back. Oh, Gavin, yeah. So I caught that recently. I don't even remember who they were playing. What Gavin's talking about is the 0-2 pitch, way off the plate wide, 1-2. And I don't know why, but I thought I used to like him when he was at ESPN. And I think I just remember him like in the studio where he was entertaining. That was brutal. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3 up top. Good pitch by Jackson Stevens. Man, I wasn't expecting much from him, but I'll tell you what, he looks like the Jackson of old. You could tell Castellanos had a hard time picking up that pitch. Kind of like almost a hitch in his swing, trying to figure out if he wanted to go for it. That'll bring Brandon Marsh to the plate. Outside for a ball, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. 1-1. Even if we don't come back and win this game, there's a long way to go. One thing I'm taking away from this is Jackson Stevens. He's back, baby. He's back. He's looked pretty good so far. So a 1-1 from Stevens. Pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high. Uh-oh. That one's gone. So that one wasn't a good one. He hung that one Marsh put one into the seats, and it's 7-3. That one kind of hung there. Nonetheless, you can leave Colin McHugh on the IL and leave Jackson as the mop-up guy. He's at least got a bite on his fastball. You can't hang an 85 mile an hour to anybody in the major leagues, even Brandon Marsh. So the hobo makes it 7-3. Still a long way to go in this one. 2 outs. Sosa, 2 for 2. Takes the first pitch up high for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. I would still say that the Dodgers are much more formidable, but there's a good chance that we're going to see this team first. So I get what you're coming from, Show. The 1-1. Swing and pops that up, back foul. It's 1-2. Another hanger. This one, the curveball. Braves trail by 4, but both teams beleaguered bullpens. We'll see how that plays out in the end. The 2-2 pitch, or 1-2 pitch off the plate wide, 2-2. So the 2-2 off the plate wide, ball 3, 3-2. The full count. Pitch on the way. Swung on and dragged foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. They were Philly was, I know who it was. Philly was playing the Angels in a day game last week. I think it was a day that the Braves had off, and I just had it on in the background, was kind of listening to it while I was cleaning up the studio and whatnot. As the 3-2 pitch swung on, pops it up high in the sky. Should be playable. It is. And Ice House will make the catch. So gives up a run, but we still in it. Olsen, Murphy, Rosario coming to the plate.
Cheeseburger, cheeseburger,
Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Braves Country. Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Hi, I'm Mac Magee, and we'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch of your Atlanta Braves. It's free to listen. Please like and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Braves Country Baseball, for the fans, by the fans.
I only drink alcohol on days that start with a T, so that's Tuesday, Thursday, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
It is an American odyssey that links sons and daughters to fathers and grandfathers. And it reflects a host of age-old American tensions between workers and owners, scandal and reform, the individual and the collective.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I don't know what Randy Land in Miami is, Goat, but I'm sure I don't want to go there. First pitch on the way. Matt Olson is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Just over the top of that. 1-1. Matt Olson. The 1-1 pitch. Outside wide, 2-1. Matt Olson hit his 49th home run, just one homer shy of 50. The 2-1 pitch. Off the plate, wide, ball 3. So a 3-1 count to Olson. Pitch on the way. Just called for a wide strike. Not sure about that when it's 3-2. The final numbers are in. It says 50% Ice House 50, 49% Braves win the division. The 3-2 pitch swung on. That ball's going back on the track. It is gone. Ramalama ding dong, number 50 for the Ice House. 127 RBIs, 354 happy feet. And the Braves pull within 3 at 7-4. Holy cow. That ball just kept going and going and going. Boppo over the left field wall. Couple of rows back. Michael Harris hold up the big 5-0. And Olson. It's unbelievable. This guy's going to hit 55 to 60 home runs. He's going to have around 150 RBI, and he's not going to be an MVP. What? Rob Thompson's going to come out, and that will probably do it for Lorenzen. He's at 96 pitches. And they'll get into that Philly bullpen here in the 6th inning. And there's a Philly fan, and she is going to, that's pretty cool. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to give that Philly fan, she had the home run ball fall in her lap, and she threw it back into Kyle Schwarber. The Phillies gave her another ball so that Matt Olson will have his 50th home run ball. I'm sure Olson or the Phillies or somebody, whatever she wants, will give her other things. But that's pretty cool. Not that that ball would be worth anything, but just for Matt Olson to have the 50 home run ball has got to be pretty cool. I'm sure she'll get something out of it. I'm surprised she didn't throw it back in. Anyways, don't Philly fans normally throw home run balls by the other team in? Let's go ahead and hit the scoreboard real quick. They went to the break as they're going to the bullpen to take Lorenzen out. St. Louis 5, Baltimore 4. That game is in the 5th. Washington over Pittsburgh 6-1. That one doesn't really have any implications on it. Other scores around the league. Toronto. This one does have a lot of implication. Toronto trails Texas 3-2 in the 5th. Blue Jays and Mets are just getting underway. Diamondbacks and Mets. Diamondbacks are still in that wild card race. Brewers 1-0 over the Marlins in the 3rd. Rays 1-0 over the Twins in the 3rd. Astros and A's 0-0 in the 1st. You've got 4 games that have yet to start. Cubs are in action against the Rockies. Philly fans care about that. Angels and Mariners. That's got a lot of implications for the NL West. Guardians and Giants. Both of those 2 teams are in the wild card race. And the Padres are going to try to spoil things for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are well in the lead in the West, but they still have a glimmer of hope to try to catch the Braves for the best record in the NL. So We're back to action, in the first pitch on the way from Hoffman, who comes in as a swing and a miss strike. Sean Murphy, it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch on the way, outside wide, 1-1. So any way you look at, that was a act of class by that Philadelphia Phillies fan. I assume she's a fan. She was wearing Phillies gear. Looked like her and possibly her husband were out there, and they gave the ball back, and Schwarber gave them a ball. The 1-1. The 0-1 pitch, high and inside. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, inside, ball 3. You got a 3-1 count. Hoffman comes set. Braves trail by only 3. We're still in the 6th. The 3-1 pitch, swung on, pops it up. Murphy underneath that one. Probably should have let that one go. It's going to be an easy fly ball to center, and there's one away. So one down. Eddie Rosario, 1 for 2. The pitch on the way to Eddie is a swing and a miss strike, 99 miles an hour right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Eddie had a single in the 4th, now batting .264. The 0-1 pitch drifts inside. Good take by Rosario. It's 1-1. Braves keep chipping away. Every time Philadelphia thinks they might have really gotten a leg up, Atlanta gets one back. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2. Remember, Alvaro is not available for the Phillies here in game 2, or at least you wouldn't think he would. He pitched quite a bit in game 1. Most of the back of the Braves bullpens won't be available either. They're going to have to outscore them. The 1-2 pitch just got a piece of that. Do it again. You look at who would be available. Shawver, Tonkin, the 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled that away. Do it again at 1-2. Hand. The 1-2. Pierce Johnson. Pierce Johnson could possibly be the closer tonight if the Braves were to get the lead. The 1-2 pitch off the plate wide, 2-2. Pierce Johnson and Brad Hand have the most closing experience of the ones that are left. They were not used in game 1. I seriously doubt they would go double dip the 16-game lead in the division. The 2-2 pitch, outside wide, ball 3. So a 3-2 count. Hoffman comes set. The pitch on the way. Swung on. Taps that foul off the plate. We'll do it again. Rosario just got a piece of that, a stitch or two. That ball was low. He just got a piece to keep it alive. The 3-2. Righty-lefty matchup, pitch on the way. Swung on at that one. Ball gets away, and Eddie doesn't even make it towards first. In fact, JT Realmuto kind of gives him a look, and I don't blame him. He gave him a look as far as you're not even going to try to run down to first. Eddie Rosario, he's done a few things here in the last couple of months, and that one right there, if that doesn't get you benched, Snicker just doesn't have a backbone. So pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia, and that right there is for a strike. It's on 1. You got to at least make an effort down to, I'm not expecting him to blow his hamstring out running down to first. But JT Realmuto even looked at him and goes, what? All right. The 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to third, flips it over, and a wide throw. And that ball is going to go. Does it go into the dugout? It looks like it did. Orlando Arcia will head down to second. So the Braves got something going here. Imagine if Eddie actually tried. He'd probably be standing on third right now. Bad throw. Trying to see what happened there with Sosa. He was juggling it. I don't think he ever had a good grip on it. He forced it over to first. Probably wasn't thinking about the fact that Arcia does not run that well. He probably had time to gather himself. But instead, runner on second, 2 outs. The pitch on the way, swung on. That ball's rifled foul and out of play. It's 0-1. The good news about Rosario is it is a club option for next year. And I would just be shocked with a lot of his antics if they end up picking it up. The 0-1 pitch. Right there for a strike, it's 0-2. Which, to me, what's more frustrating is when you watch the post-game press conference and no one in the Braves press has a backbone to ask Snicker the tough questions like what just happened there. They will skate over that. They won't even mention it. The 0-2 pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. Pilar, I don't know what he was doing, but he got caught watching the paint dry. And that'll end the inning. So the Braves' 50th home run by Matt Olson have cut it to 3. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Can you keep a secret? Of course I can. I lost all our money today betting on sports. Damn. I know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Can I tell you a secret? Sure, yeah. I lied. I can't keep secrets. Wait, what?
Armchair.
Braves Country HD, covering America's pastime from spring training all the way to the Fall Classic.
5-2 Dodgers in the 9th. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets. It's the impossible dream revisited.
And Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air. Foul off first. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory.
Left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Tony Gwynn is regarded by some as the best pure hitter ever. But did you know that he was also a star basketball player? In fact, in 1981, Gwynn was drafted by both the Padres and the Clippers on the same day, but he ended up choosing baseball. Walter Johnson pitched for the Washington Senators for over 20 years in the early 1900s and has the most WAR of any pitcher.
Van Johnson never missed an opportunity to make a speech. It was always the same speech, all about how he, single-handed and alone, had made baseball a gentleman's sport, and it must be kept forever clean because sportsmanship spoke from the heart of America, and he would lay down his life to save our beloved nation, at which he would begin to cry.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. It looks like Jackson Stevens is going to go back out there for another inning. You know what that means? He's getting sent back down after this game. First pitch on the way. Jake Cave misses for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on, pops it up high in the sky, drifting over. Kind of a half-hearted effort by Eddie Rosario over there by the fans. And it'll drift into the crowd, and there's strike into the Striking in the crowd, it's 1-2. Foul ball. I think a lot of us have tried with Eddie, but his lack of effort is just absolutely nauseating. The 1-2 pitch, high and out of the zone, 2-2. But once again, to me, more than anything else that drives me crazy, it's not that he's not doing it. It's not even as much that Snicker doesn't do anything to him, because he's done it to other players, which is a little strange. It's the fact that the Braves beat writers don't say a thing. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Good pitch by Stevens. And you'll see it. If you follow any of these writers on social media, you'll see people question certain things like that. And they're more likely to attack the fan questioning, like, what in the hell is going on here? Because they'll throw something out like, well, his OPS is this and that, and he's got a slugging percentage. And then, like, the fans always come back. That's not what I'm talking about. First pitch on the way from Stevens to Schwarber is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, drag foul down the line. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Fastball up top. It's 1-2. So he lulled him to sleep with a couple of curveballs. 73 miles an hour. So that 91 mile an hour cutter just kind of jumped on him. The 2-2. Pitch on the way. Swung on and hammered down the right field line. That ball was just foul. Schwarber just inches away from extra bases. The 2-2. Stevens back to work. The pitch on the way. Nowhere near the zone. 3-2. The 3-2. Stevens comes set and lets it go. Down and in. So I guess that makes it 3-2. Once again, I went by the Atlanta cast, and they're obviously wildly off. I just looked over at the Philadelphia cast. The 3-2 pitch, we'll try this again. Up top, did he go around? He went around, strike three. Schwarber's not going to like it. Remember, Schwarber has exploded a couple of times. He's just going to bite his lip this time. It's 2 away. That is one of those, if you're a Braves fan, he went around. If you're a Phillies fan, you're like, come on. So 2 down, and Turner takes the first pitch for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Tell you what, outside that home run, Stevens has pitched pretty darn well coming out of the pen like this, covering for right. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, tap foul back behind home plate. It's 0-2. The 0-2. Righty-righty matchup. Stevens kicks and deals. Swung on. That ball is dribbled over to first. And Matt Olson will beat Trey Turner in a foot race to the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Braves will grab the bats, put some more pressure on the Phillies. It's all on Philadelphia. We won game 1. See if we can steal game 2.
They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
Don't miss a moment of heart-stopping NFL coverage on Armchair Quarterback Radio.
Riggins. He's going to go all the way unless Blackwood can catch him, and he can't.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Mark caught it! Dwight Clark!
Only 12 seconds left to play third quarter. Here's Marcus Allen cutting back upfield, and Marcus Allen could be gone. 74 yards for Marcus Allen.
The quiet man of this football team, Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now. Here we go with 8 seconds to play. High drama here in the Super Bowl. But in the air, it's got the distance. Go, go!
Two last questions. The combine, what was that experience like for you?
You don't know me, do you?
Huh?
You don't know me, do you? I never went to a combine.
You didn't go to the combine. How about the draft?
I never got drafted.
Then I know. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Armchair.
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. And that's marvelous. But you can apply those same 3 criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. You gotta be kidding me with this. Aaron Rodgers is already out of the game. Jesus. What a snore fest that's going to be. So Gregory Soto is going to come into the game for the Phillies. Lefty-lefty matchup. And pitch on the way to Nicky Lopez, who leads off the inning again. Man, he's starting to feel like a leadoff hitter. This is his 3rd inning he's led off tonight. Taking for a strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, down and away, 1-1. If week 1 of the NFL wasn't bad enough so far, you're going to get Zach Wilson. Jeez. The 1-1 pitch, down and in, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. You know, people forget, but it was like this last year. It was till like week 3 or 4 in the NFL before the games looked somewhat competitive, because as the 2-1 pitch misses inside, ball 3-1. And the main reason is they don't have preseason anymore. So their first 2 or 3 games, because a lot more teams make the playoffs now, is really treated as their preseason. The 3-1 pitch right there, first strike, 99 miles an hour. It's 3-2. That's why I was so glad that Major League Baseball didn't go to 14 teams in the playoffs. I didn't love the 12, but you can deal with it. The 3-2 pitch, swung on, grounded, high chopper over to second, making the play. A Stott flips it hard over to first. Lopez running it out, will be out by about a step or so, and there's one away. Ronald Acuna Jr. has not hit a home run yet, but Matt Olson has belted 2. He has 50 home runs on the year. So that'll bring Acuna to the plate. Acuna, 0 for 2. First pitch on the way, 100 miles an hour off the plate wide. It's 1-0. If he was going to hit one, this seems like the perfect matchup. Lefty-righty with a 100-mile-an-hour pitch. The 1-0, swung on and grounded foul down the third base line. It's 1-1. You got a 1-1 count to Acuna. 1 down. Braves trail by just 3. The pitch on the way. Swing and fouls that out of play. 1-2. We'll try to squeeze in the rest of the turn back time here as we go along. The 1-2 to Ronnie. Swung on, just keeps that alive. We'll do it again. Lefty-righty matchup. The 1-2 pitch swung on, grounded over third. Sosa's got it, fires it over to first. Bad throw, but a good play by Cave. Gets it out of the dirt, and there's 2 away. On this date in Major League Baseball, 1886, September 11th, Roger Connor becomes the first and only player to hit a ball out of the Polo Grounds, 110th Street and 5th Avenue. The Giants' first baseman receives a $500 gold watch from stockbrokers and others to honor his accomplishment. In 1886, that was a priceless watch. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris II is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, lefty-lefty matchup. Swung on, bangs that foul off the plate. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count to Harris. Soto taking his time to get set, drops the rosin bag and lets it go. Swing, and that ball is belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Ding dong, that pitch is dead. Michael Harris is second, his first home run of the game. 407th happy feet into the right field seats. His 16th home run of the year. And the Atlanta Braves cut it to a 2-run game. That was a hanging slider. He did not miss that one. Smooth swing by Michael, just sent it into the night. That went into the second deck. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is high and out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. Austin Riley 0 for 3. The 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Down inside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Looming on deck is Matt Olson with his 50 home runs. The 2-0 to Riley. Swing and a miss, 99 right past him. It's 2-1. Braves 5, Phillies 7. Top of 7. Braves slowly climbing back into this one. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back out of play. 2-2. You got a 2-2 count to Riley. Soto comes set and lets it go. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. But out for your Atlanta Braves. Cut it to 2. We'll be back in a flash. For the second time today, y'all. Get up and stretch, Braves country.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. All one, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the find me something up, cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back going through. Little Bruce boys on it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around and be home again. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me through. You sound better tonight.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We want to take a moment of silence for those on 9/11 as we get set for the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll step away for a second, just a moment of silence. All right, and we are back, getting ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Is it Atlanta trails by only 2? Looks like Jackson Stevens. All right, he's going to be he's Iron Man out here. He's going back out there again. So yeah, they're going to send him to the Phantom IL after this one. Jackson Stevens fires the first pitch outside for a ball to Bryce Harper. It's 1-0. His 44th pitch of the night, misses outside again, 2-0. The 2-0 to Harper, righty-lefty matchup, pitch on the way, just grabs the outer edge, 2-1. Harper doesn't look like that he liked that much, but the 2-1 pitch. Inside, did he go around? Looked like he might have. He did. Third base umpire, Jacoby Metz, says that he did, or either that or he's got dinner plans. He's like, enough is enough. The 2-2. Pitch comes set. Jackson on the way. Swing and fouls that out of play. 2-2. Even when, he must just wear the loosest helmets and ball caps. Even when he has a half-hearted swing, the helmet comes off. The 2-2 to Bryce. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. The 2-2. Stevens lets it go. High ball 3. So a full count to Bryce Harper. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, a sac bunt, and a run. He did hit a home run in game number 1. Full count. Stevens comes set. Pitch on the way. Caught looking, strike 3. Harper knew it. He was looking for something else. Tossed one at the top of the zone and just buckled him. Looked like it was his cutter. He might have been looking for that curveball or something on the outer edge. So 1 down. On this date in 1964 at Milwaukee's County Stadium, Braves southpaw Denny LeMaster throws a one-hitter, beating the Reds and Jim Maloney, who gives up only 2 hits, 1-0. First pitch on the way to Real Muto, swung on, grounded over to short, thrown over to first by Arcia. Bad throw. He's mad at himself. That'll be an E6. Real Muto safe at first. Bad throw by Arcia. Probably hurried it a little bit. He had plenty of time with the catcher running. Short hopped Olsen. Olsen tried to scoop it, but be an E6 unless Philadelphia scorekeeper Misses that one as well. So 1 down. Bryson Stott comes to the plate, and he takes the first pitch up top for a strike. It's 0-1. On this date, 1964, Milwaukee's County Stadium, Braves southpaw Daniel LeMaster throws a one-hitter, beating the Reds, and Jim Maloney, who gives up only 2 hits in the 1-0 game. The only run of the 2-hour and 6-minute contest is the 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to Olson. Olson's got it, fires it over to first, and another bad throw by Arcia. 2 errors in 1 inning, though there will not be an error charge because you cannot assume the double play. Actually, that one might have actually just been dropped by Stevens. I think that might have just been dropped by Stevens. At first, when I first saw it, I thought it was a low throw, but now looking at it, wasn't a great throw, but Olson makes that play, but the pitcher heading towards the bag, it was a tough grab. So it was a bad throw, but you won't get an error because you can't assume the double play. So back to that turn back time in 1964. The only run of the 2-hour and 6-minute contest scores on a sac fly by Felipe Alou, plating Gene Oliver in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is a heck of a turn back time for the Braves organization. They go out there to talk to Stevens. Warming up in the bullpen is Pierce Johnson. On this date in 1991, 3 Atlanta Braves pitchers pitched the first combined no-hitter in National League history. Kent Merker, Mark Wohlers, and Alejandro Pena hold the opposing batters hitless 1-0 over the Padres in Jack Murphy Stadium. First pitch on the way is in the dirt to the backstop, so sloppy throws have given the Phillies life here in this inning. Bad throw by Stevens goes all the way to the backstop on the play. The runner at first goes up to second. And Stott now in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch, down and in, 2-0. We've got one more turn back time, and that is an Atlanta Brave one from 2013. This is the one I was referencing earlier. We'll get to it in a minute. The 2-0 pitch. Off the plate wide, ball 3. So a 3-1 count. Marsh is due up. Stevens might be at his limit. I mean, he's at 55 pitchers as a relief pitcher. That is yeoman's work. The 3-0 on the way. Swing and a miss. 3-1. 87-mile-an-hour cutter on the outer edge. So he's gone curve, sinker, cutter, and back to the cutter when down 3-0. The 3-1. Down below the knees. Tried to get him to chase that sinker. He'll walk him. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. And Brian Snicker will go to the pen. We'll be back in a flash here on the pitching change. When we come back, we'll finish up that turn back time from 10 years ago today against the Marlins.
Well, the season's finally here.
The Armchair Quarterbacks are back. Saturdays, 10 a.m., you'll be tailgating with the Armchair Quarterbacks. Mac Magee, Joey and Tones, and the rest of the Armchair Quarterbacks live, 10 a.m., Saturdays this fall. Talking college football, SEC, ACC, Big Ten, the NFL, fantasy football advice, and our picks against the spread. Right here on Braves Country HD, 99.1 FM, WQEE.
Yeah, the Armchair Quarterback.
It's the best in sports and entertainment, and get locked in and locked down with Rhino Radio Penitentiary, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. with your host, me, Ryan O'Neal, each and every morning, right here with the best in sports and entertainment, all the way from professional sports to college sports to River Dragons hockey and everything in between, including some of the very best local and national guests. It's the Rhino Radio Penitentiary, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Fridays, right here on 99.1 FM WQEE.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Hit that like. We're only 17 away. Let's get that sign down. On this date in 2013 at Marlins Park, benches clear when Brian McCann confronts Jose Fernandez as the Miami starting pitcher crosses home plate after hitting his first career home run. The Braves catcher and third baseman Chris Johnson take exception to the 21-year-old rookie right-hander admiring his home run from the batter's box, then glaring into the Atlanta dugout, rounding the bases. And I remember that was yesterday. I just could not believe that was 10 years ago. My, how things have changed nowadays. Guys will do a backflip, a split, and a cartwheel over a bases on balls. Down 6. Pierce Johnson will come on. He is set to face the left-handed bat of Brandon Marsh. Marsh, 1 for 3. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. First pitch was a curveball down and away. Tried to get him to chase. It's 1-0. The 1-0 comes set, lets it fly. Right there for a strike. It's 1-1. Orioles now lead the Cardinals 9-5, so it doesn't look like we're getting help over there tonight. The best record in baseball. The 1-1. Swing and taps that foul. It's 1-2. Rockies lead the Cubs 1-0. That game is in the second. Important game for Phillies fans as their biggest threat to home field in the first round is the Cubs. The 1-2. Righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Brandon Marsh out on strikes. And Pierce Johnson, it's a bit of a delay. Not sure what the delay was, but he did get him. So a strike him out from Pierce Johnson comes out of the pen, puts out the fire. We'll be back in a flash to clean that up when we come back.
Hey, is that T-Bone?
No, there's no T-Bone.
Why no T-Bone?
Why no T-Bone?
Because Neil Watkins from accounting is T-Bone.
Look at that. The Hendersons are getting a new fence.
Ah, who cares? They're swingers.
I want a new fence. That's it. We're never having sex again. Need a home loan fast? At the American Bank of Los Santos, we'll help you get the debt you need to make life easier. We'll show you how to look richer and be poorer. You need to impress people fast. Not in 20 years. It's only a risk if you get into money troubles or the economy changes. Call American Bank of Los Santos. Now that the kids have moved out and have drug problems of their own, maybe it's time to install a luxury marble wet bar so you can get drunk in private. American Bank of Los Santos. Why worry about tomorrow if you look inadequate today?
My kids, they don't help either, you know. My kids, they're very smart kids I got, you know. Yeah. But the other day I told my kid, I said, someday you'll have children of your own. He said, so are you. And my daughter, too, she's no bargain either, my daughter. You kidding? Well, she's been picked up so many times, she's starting to grow handles.
Armchair.
Why do you suppose people want to listen to you?
I think they know that I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be fair. I don't have a hidden agenda. Not many people on TV that you can say that about. The people like, you think our team sucks? I'm like, yeah, I only think that because they suck. It's just basketball. We're not solving inflation. We didn't just get back from Afghanistan.
Past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail by just 2. Matt Olson sitting with 50 home runs now. Comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Swing and foul tips it off of the mask of JT Real Muto. It's 0-1. Matt Strom coming in. Big left-hander. The 0-1. Comes set, lets it fly. Off the plate wide, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Olson followed by Murphy and Rosario. The 1-1 pitch, sawed off foul, 1-2. You could, in theory, pinch hit with the left-hander on the mound. You could pinch hit for Rosario. You do have Ozuna standing on the bench. You got Darnold on the bench, and if you wanted to put a defensive replacement, you could put Ozuna in left, but if you didn't want to do that, you have Forrest Wall. So a couple of options for the Braves. The 1-2 pitch, off the plate wide, 2-2. The 2-2. On the way, off the plate wide, ball 3. So a 3-2 count to Olson. The pitch on the way to Matt Olson, swung on, popped up high in the sky, into foul territory, making the catch is Sosa. Looked like he struggled with that. I don't know why. It's a pretty easy play for out number 1. So 1 down. Sean Murphy coming to the plate, lefty-righty matchup. Murphy digs in, and the first pitch on the way is high, strike called. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Right there for a strike on the inner cut. It's 0-2. The 0-2 lefty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, 94 miles an hour. Blew it right by him. And there's 2 away. So 2 down. Man, that's got to be brutal. Zach Wilson. You know, Jets fans thought that garbage was over, and here it is, back to first game, and Aaron Rodgers is done. So that'll bring up the right-handed bat of Luke Williams. So they don't give anybody a chance. They're going to go to Luke Williams. He takes a hack at the first pitch, swings it high, not very deep, kind of a soft fly ball into right field. And the man batting 091 is an easy third out. We'll be back in a flash heading to the bottom of the 8th, the bottom of the order, due up for the Phillies.
Gas prices are so high that I just saw Dolly Parton carpooling with Jolene.
Here are some baseball facts you might not have known. At Fenway Park, which is the home of the Boston Red Sox, there is a lone red seat in the right field bleachers. The seat signifies the longest home run ever hit in the ballpark. The home run was hit by Ted Williams in 1946 and was officially measured at 502 feet.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge, so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite favorite attractions, then dine out in style in dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
I've made more money than I ever expected to, but I'm putting all of it, and more too, into the new plant for the Brooklyn fans. Of course, it's one thing to have a fine ball club and win a pennant, but to my mind, there's something more important than that about a ball club. I believe the fans should be taken care of. A club should provide a suitable home for its patrons. This home should be in a location that's healthy, it should be safe, and it should be convenient. Charles Hercules Ebbets.
My father used to talk about the building of Ebbets Field. He was 11 years old when they started building Ebbets Field, and he somehow remembered what the hopes were for that whole area of Brooklyn, because he lived right near there, that they would have their own stadium nearby. And he said he used to go by every day and watch another piece of it being put together. So when he first took me there, it was like showing me something that was part of his own history, not just a stadium somewhere else.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trailing this 1-2. We head to the bottom of the 8th. What's really going to be interesting is tomorrow's game, because of all the usage in the bullpens today, especially on the Philadelphia side. They do have Kimbrel available to close the game out, so I would think that's who we see in the 9th inning. No, he's usually pretty good. He's had some really shaky outings last few years. This one ain't over yet. First pitch on the way from Pierce Johnson, who's back out there, right there for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count from Pierce Johnson. Curveball off the edge. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. By the way, for you football fans that are keeping up with it, they have ruled Aaron Rodgers out for the rest of the game. So there goes that. That was short-lived. Cave comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. First pitch off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. And I'm not pulling against the guy. Trust me. I just think it's funny because that's all you've heard all offseason long is they've built this sport into what can Aaron Rodgers do? What can Aaron Rodgers do? He's gone after literally, like, I want to say it was a couple of plays. The 1-0 pitch off the plate wide, 1-1. It's almost like you shouldn't put your football franchise around a 40-year-old quarterback. The 1-1 off the plate, 2-1. So a 2-1 count to Cave. Caveman does have a triple and an RBI. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 97 off the edge. It's 2-2. I looked up out of the corner of my eye to check the score on that football game, and a Jets fan was giving the one finger salute to the camera who had a what's his name, Aaron Rodgers jersey on. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. We'll do it again. So a 2-2 count to Johnson from Johnson. The 2-2. Pitch on the way. Did he go around? They're going to check down the third base line. Strike 3. I don't know where third base umpire Jacoby Metz needs to be, but it has been important because every single strike that they have checked down the third base line has been called a strike. He's not giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. And that's odd. That's the 5th time they have checked down the third base line, and all 5 times, and I'd say 3 of them were very iffy. So normally, law of averages, first pitch on the way to Kyle Schwarber, swing and a miss for a strike, it's 0-1. He must have taken the Jets on the money line. The 0-1 or the Bills, any way you look at it. The 0-1 pitch, down and away, it's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pierce Johnson comes set. Righty-lefty matchup. Pierce lets it fly. Down and away, 1-2. You got a 1-2 count. Pierce Johnson looking in. Schwarber stepping out of the box. PJ lifts the glove, lets it go. Down and away. They're going to check down the line. Why not? Oh, he called him not go around. It's almost a wry grin from Kyle Schwarber. So I would have lost that on my bingo card. The 2-2 pitch. Philly fans are giving him the Bronx cheer, the third base umpire, and it evens out because it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So there you go. We'll come back. Arcia, Pilar, and Nicky Lopez to face most likely Craig Kimbrell out of the bullpen.
Question 2. Who would you rather spend the night with? A, your wife, or B?
B.
Armchair Quarterbacks Radio, living in an era of baseball where the impossible is unfolding right before our eyes.
Salvador Perez, the 2-2. Popped up, send the ball in foul territory. Giants win! A World Series win for the San Francisco Giants for the 3rd time in the last 5 years. And their hero, Madison Bumgarner. The 1-2 again. Inside corner. The Royals, 2015 World Champion. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs, win the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all.
But the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Armchair.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Kirk Gibson walking off Game 1 of the 1988 World Series is one of the most iconic home runs of all time. Despite how famous the play is, nobody knows where the home run ball itself is located. The bat, helmet, and jersey from that moment are all accounted for, but the ball has seemingly disappeared.
Eddie Collins first played in Connie Mack's celebrated $100,000 infield, but was sent to the Chicago White Sox when Mack sold off his championship team. Collins hit over .340 for 10 seasons and played second base with such cheerful confidence in his own skills that opponents and teammates alike called him Cocky Collins.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves won Game 1 by 2. Trail Game 2 by 2. Of course, there's no aggregate in baseball, but it's been a high-scoring affair. You won't be able to say that for the football game tonight, but 10-8 in the first one, 7-5 in the second one. Craig Kimbrell coming on to see if he can close the door. He'll face Orlando Arcia to start it off. The first pitch on the way to Orlando is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Atlanta Braves cut their magic number to 4 earlier today, going for their 6th straight division title. The 0-1 pitch swung on, taps that foul off the plate. It's 0-2. Also in line for the best record in baseball. Still a ways to go for that, but it looks like National League will definitely go Atlanta's way. Talked about this before, but I don't get as concerned about what the Baltimore scores are as much as I do with the Dodgers, because the chances of Baltimore making it all the way to the other side is really slim. With Tampa Bay and Houston standing in their way, that's going to be a tough road. The 0-2 pitch, off the plate wide, 98 miles an hour, 1-2. The 1-2. On the way, caught looking, strike three. Not sure what Arcia was doing. He had the best seat in the house. Fastball on the outer edge. Must have been sitting on the breaking pitch, because that was right there for the taking. So 1 down. Nicky Lopez is due up. I'm sorry, not Lopez. Kevin Pillar. Lopez on deck. The first pitch on the way to Kevin is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Kevin Pillar 0 for 3. Marcell Ozuna did not play in the second game. The 1-0 pitch swung on, hit hard on the ground, but right at Sosa. See if he can make that throw. Woo! High throw. Almost threw another one away. There's 2 away. So 2 down, and Philadelphia fans looking to salvage their day. Man, if you've been sitting out there all night, first of all, you're probably twisted up. But second of all, you're glad to see a win finally. Nicky Lopez comes to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch on the way. Down and away. For a ball, it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled away. It's 1-1. Philadelphia can hold on to this. They will get within 15 games of the Atlanta Braves, now sitting 16 out. They would go for their 79th win. Braves would fall to 94-50. JT Realmuto calls a timeout. Goes out there to talk to Kimbrel. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow night. We'll have first pitch here, pitch by pitch, play by play. Game starts at 6:40. Pregame will come your way 6 o'clock. The 1-1 swung on. That ball is lifted into center field, down for a base hit. And Nicky Lopez is going to make Kimbrel work a little bit. If nothing else, that could pay dividends tomorrow night. That'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Tomorrow night's game should be a good matchup. It's Max Fried versus Zach Wheeler. Then Wednesday's matchup should be another fun one. 6:40 first pitch. Christopher Sanchez versus Spencer Strider. First pitch on the way to Acuna. He took a swing at a breaking ball out of the zone. It's 0-1. So 2 pretty good pitching matchups set up for the next 2 nights. 6:40 first pitch on both of those games. We'll have both games right here on Braves Country. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Ronald Acuna Jr. representing the tying run. Lopez stands on first. 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted high in the sky, but it'll fall into the crowd foul. We'll do it again. Ronald Acuna Jr., 2 for 5 with a double and a home run in his career against Craig Kimbrell. If Acuna can keep it going, Michael Harris II stands on deck. The 0-2 pitch. Kimbrell comes set. Pitch on the way. Swung on, rifled towards right side of the infield. Making the play is Caveman. He'll step on the base, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. The Braves and Phillies split the doubleheader. The bad news is we lose this game. Hard-fought game 7-5. The good news is we get our magic number cut down from 6 to 4 today and still have an opportunity in the next 2 nights to win our 6th consecutive National League East Division on Philadelphia's home field. Tomorrow night we'll get Max Fried versus Zach Wheeler. That should be a fun one. Looking forward to that. They normally both duel. For Braves Country Baseball, CBS Sports affiliates, and the guys and gals behind Armchair Quarterback Radio, I'm Mac Magee signing off. Braves split the series. Phillies win the second one by 2. Braves win the first one by 2. We'll see you tomorrow night. Remember, Braves Country comes your way tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Have a good night, Braves Country. Matt Olson, number 49 and 50. What an absolute blast it's been to watch this kid this year.
Goodbye, sweetheart, well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart, goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same back time, same back channel.
Thanks for listening to Braves Country Baseball. With Mac Magee, we're proud to bring you year number 3. Braves Country Baseball comes your way Tuesdays and Friday nights and 2 more bonus games for a total of 4 games a week. You can also catch Braves Country, our daily sports talk show. We go live 3 to 5, 99.1 FM WQEE, Metro Atlanta. Other CBS, ESPN, and independent affiliates nationwide, and simulcast on youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Find Braves Country HD today wherever you stream. Your first choice for Southern sports and the deepest bench in sports talk.
Something of the 5th of September. Something of the 5th of September. She said a lot that I can't remember. Something of the 5th. Can I get another cigarette, please? Can I get another cigarette, please? Yeah, I know I lived